The Tanzanian government is cornered. Gen Z activists are planning a massive December 9th mega protest, demanding that President Samia Suluhu Hassan steps down, just as shocking reports of secret burials, mass detentions and missing persons emerge. The situation has exploded beyond politics into a national crisis that could transform East Africa's power dynamics.
Kwa hiyo lazima tuje na solutions actually. Haiwezekani mtu mmoja amekaa nje ya Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, dada tu, hata ukimwangalia pia rais yake anawaambia watu wakafanya hivyo na wanaenda kufanya kweli, alafu imetokea anaanza kutamba. Anasema bado nitakuja kivingine. Lazima tumkamate.
Tanzania's government is worried and cornered. Fresh intelligence and online mobilization show that the Gen Z activists are planning new protests on December 9th, demanding that President Samia Suluhu Hassan steps down over post-election killings and mass disappearances. The timing is deliberate, Independence Day for Tanzania, but the mood is anything but celebratory. Authorities are on edge after new reports of secret burials, foreign detentions and thousands of deaths surfaced in recent days. It is no longer just a protest, it is becoming a national reckoning. According to new findings, Tanzania is facing its darkest political crisis in decades. The report alleges evidence of hidden burial locations and undisclosed cremations, and medical facilities ordered not to release records of those killed during and after the October 2025 elections.
The Suluhu regime has been digging mass graves across Tanzania, especially in Mabopande, to hurriedly conceal the bodies of victims.
Kenyan human rights organizations now estimate that as many as 3,000 lives have been lost, far higher than initial figures suggested. Worse, foreign nationals working in Tanzania, including Kenyan educators, have reportedly been rounded up in security operations.
A worker involved in burying unclaimed bodies says he has never seen so many corpses all his life. We have also received information that mass graves are being dug.
Not only have there been massive human rights violations, but also there is a massive cover-up that is happening at the moment.
Families searching for their missing loved ones, such as John Okoth Ogutu and Frederick Laurent Obuya from Kenya, say they have received no information, no access, no closure, whether from the Kenyan government or Tanzanian government.
He was on at 11:19 a.m. So when there was silence, I went to the other line and I said, "Hello bro, are you safe?" And there was no answer. It clicked to me that there is another bad news. We buried Dad in May.
The government has denied nothing, but explained nothing either. And with every unanswered question, Tanzania's credibility sinks deeper.
Tuliwapea mwalimu, mbona mnatuacha mikono mitupu hata bila mwili? Jameni, tunaomba mwili.
December 9th, Tanzania's Independence Day, is now the chosen date for what activists call the mega protest, a nationwide demonstration meant to expose state brutality and demand change.
Mimi nakwambia DPP, huyu lazima tumkamate. Tuangalie kama tuna extradition agreement with the United States, tuangalie tu, tutafikiri tu, lakini hawezi yule kututambia kwa kiwango hicho. Yani ana admit kwamba hicho yeye ameengineer kukifanya na bado atafanya zaidi. Sasa sisi tunamwachaje?
The movement's organizers, largely from Gen Z, have declared the day a symbolic uprising against dictatorship. The phrase trending online is clear and defiant. If independence means silence, we'll create our own, unquote. Their core demand, Suluhu must go. They accuse her of presiding over an authoritarian regime that manipulates elections, silences dissent, and hides the bodies of its own citizens. This storm began on October 29, 2025, during what was supposed to be a peaceful general election. Video reports from Tanzania revealed ballot stuffing, opposition suppression and live ammunition used against protesters.
Kwa dhati kabisa, nipongeze sana Tume Huru ya Uchaguzi kwa namna ilivyosimamia uchaguzi kwa mujibu wa katiba ya nchi yetu na sheria zetu zinazohusiana na shughuli za uchaguzi. Wameweza kusimamia uchaguzi kwa uhuru, uwazi na haki.
By the end of election night, chaos consumed major cities, Dar es Salaam, Arusha, Zanzibar, with young people burning ballot boxes and confronting heavily armed police. Internet blackouts followed. Opposition leaders including Tundu Lissu were arrested way before and charged with treason. Dozens disappeared overnight. The elections didn't just fail politically, they broke the nation's moral compass. From that chaos, a new voice emerged, one that cannot be censored: Tanzania's Gen Z. These young citizens, inspired by Kenya's 2024 Gen Z uprising, are using social media to coordinate, document, and defy state control. They have turned TikTok, X, and Telegram into tools of organization and truth-telling. Their message: this generation refuses to inherit fear. They are done whispering, done obeying, done pretending that democracy exists on paper only. Online posters called December 9th the day East Africa wakes up. On X, coordination is now out in the open. At Jimmy King's 8 wrote, quote, "Breaking news, Tanzania Gen Zs will hold a demonstration on 9th December. Protest against Mama Samia genocide. Kenya Gen Zs should also hold protests the same day in solidarity. Free Africa," unquote. At Engineer Matara added, "Now it is official. December 9th, Gen Z will force the release of detained youth and leaders. Enough is enough." The list of demands is expanding daily. A new constitution, freedom of speech and assembly, immediate release of all political prisoners, accountability for killings and disappearances, transparency on secret burials and detentions. For Gen Z Tanzania, it's no longer just a protest, it's about reclaiming humanity from silence. The government's instinct has been predictable: control and containment. Curfews have been declared in several regions, arrests exceed 1,000 people, and surveillance has intensified. But fresh revelations have changed the equation. International observers including UN, EU, SADC, and African Union are demanding investigations into the alleged mass graves and disappearances. Sources suggest even within the Tanzanian military, there is growing unease. Some soldiers questioning how far they'll go to suppress citizens. President Samia's leadership now faces its toughest test yet: a legitimacy crisis and moral collapse wrapped in one. The crisis has spilled across borders, with Kenyans missing. Nairobi's human rights groups are calling for diplomatic pressure on Dodoma. Online, Kenyan Gen Z activists are planning mirror protests on December 9th in Nairobi, Kisumu, and Mombasa, in solidarity with Tanzanians. The message is spreading fast. An injustice in Dar is an injustice in Nairobi. This is becoming more than national unrest. It's turning into a regional awakening. The tension is razor sharp. Every step toward the truth risks bloodshed. But Gen Z knows something the old system doesn't. Visibility is power. Every smartphone is now a witness. Every silence an admission of guilt. Tanzania's government can bury bodies, but it cannot bury the truth forever. December 9th will test not just Tanzania, but Africa's conscience. A generation born after independence is now demanding for that same independence for real. Whether Suluhu resigns or resists, one thing is certain: history will not remember the silence of the powerful, only the courage of the young. Newsroom, Maisha TV, Bushabi Jr.